It was supposed to be crypto's greatest superpower, the thing that would give you control of your money instead of governments and banks. And then came FTX. We're talking about decentralization and why the CeFi versus DeFi debate is more relevant than ever. The collapse of FTX has brought this sharply into focus. We talked in our previous episode about how it's prompted investors to rush to hard wallets, not your keys, not your coins. But the debacle is also highlighting the power of social media and how much it wields over not just crypto, but the whole world. Just look at CZ's very public feud with SBF on Twitter.
The challenging and sort of most surprising part about all of this is just how quickly it all blew up once CZ started tweeting.
Since then, experts have been keen to tell Forkast that investors should really steer clear of whirlwind rumours and hearsay that appear online.
What we understand so far is basically the rumours contagious.
The only thing we could do is to make sure we could clarify every rumor.
What seems to be very specific to crypto finance here is that it is very sensitive to any types of announcements, news, and rumors.
While social media is partly to blame for driving the crisis in crypto, it is also facing something of a crisis itself. And decentralization is the issue there as well. So let's talk about Twitter. Elon Musk initially reached a deal to buy the company in April. He said it had the potential to be a platform for free speech around the world, but it's turned into a little bit of a mess. There were issues around the deal itself, complaints about things like bots, and then after it finally went through, mass sackings, and then a controversial paid option to get a blue tick. Some high-profile names recoiled in horror at the move, including author Stephen King. Musk's leadership has prompted questions about alternatives and some hand-wringing about the idea of decentralizing power, so much so that decentralized platforms have now been gaining traction as a result.
If you think about something like email or even some chat systems, they were always built on this idea that the original internet was fundamentally built on, which is that we're all peers. And we can all talk to each other without having to go through an intermediary. So these new decentralized social media systems that are popping up right now are really working the same way as the old internet did.
Mastodon has swiftly emerged as the most popular decentralized option. It says that more than 1 million people joined in the 2 weeks after Musk completed the deal. However, some people are finding that making the move isn't that easy. So Forkast Dylan Butts has been giving it a go to see what all the fuss is about.
So what makes Mastodon different than other social networks is that it's not actually one social network site. It's a combination of thousands of different servers. They're mostly based on themes or interests. A lot are by country. So you are encouraged to look at a lot of different servers and decide which one kind of fits your interests most.
Having each server owned and run by a different group is what keeps things decentralized, which means that no central figure, like Elon Musk for instance, can take control.
Every server is kind of building its own rules and policies. So that kind of creates a different user experience depending on which server you're part of. In a lot of ways, Mastodon is actually kind of a return to some early internet micro-blogging type sites.
Dylan reckons that for those of us that aren't used to that type of experience, it can be hard to get to grips with.
Where I think a lot of people are getting confused is how their posts on their servers interconnect with other servers. It acknowledges that a lot of servers are going to be structured poorly and be moderated poorly. The idea is that those servers will fail, while people will generally gravitate to better run, more practical servers. But right now, it does seem like a very nice environment compared to what's happening in Twitter right now.
Danny agrees that there is work to be done on the user experience, but he says that having that choice of servers is still vital.
Usability is always a challenge with decentralized systems, whether it's open source software or Web3 tools. People have been sort of moved into and pushed into this idea where all of these decisions are taken away from you. The shock is just a little bit, oh my goodness, I have actual choice, which is, that feeling of walking into a supermarket grocery for the first time.
Some servers struggle to cope with the sheer number of new users trying to join at once. Mastodon says it has been working on making the choosing of a server easier since then, as well as making it clearer that a real person has to review new signups. Once you've managed to figure out how to sign up, what are the advantages though?
When you use these centralized products, they're targeting you with advertising, they're maybe manipulating you into making certain choices because those are the best choices for that service itself. When you're working in this sort of community-driven level, people are making collective decisions based on the small circle of people that affects.
Not only are users pretty fed up, the advertisers are also angry at Musk's new policies. General Motors, United Airlines, Audi are among those who have suspended some of their spending on the platform. Fashion diner Balenciaga has also gone as far as deleting its profile entirely. That means Twitter could be entering a fight for survival, and Musk has admitted that the company has been suffering a massive drop in revenue as a result. He's also told staff that bankruptcy isn't out of the question. If that happens, the company would be forced into some sort of restructuring, though it could ultimately still rise again. But amid the turmoil, is now really the time when we may see decentralized social media finally rising to prominence?
I think there's a lot of promise waiting to be pulled out of this new influx of users. The question is always, will developers and users work together to provide something that's of actual use to people and is usable enough for them to enjoy using compared to the centralized competition? My hope is it's just waiting to catch fire and grow.
That's it from this episode. Like and subscribe to this video for more content like it, and let us know your thoughts down in the comments.